Boogie, drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video, let me know what you think. So what happened between Carlos and Dr. Heavenly? It was all so good just a week ago. You can't tell me that Carlos and Dr. Heavenly did not get into it directly after that interview with Trisha's husband. They definitely got into it, because one thing about Carlos, as much as he critiqued everybody and everybody's show, he can dish it, but he cannot take it. Carlos critique everybody, but he does not like to get a dose of his own medicine. And the fact that Dr. Heavenly called his editing out to his face on his podcast, on his interview, oh, I know he was heated. He was so bent out of shape, to the fact that he wouldn't even allow Marquez, Trisha's husband, to continue making his statement when he was trying to explain and clear it up why he has not, why he said, or he was trying to clear it up because it was like a cliffhanger, he said, where people think that he was just gone away from his kids for 6 years. He was trying to clear that up, and Carlos interrupted him, talking about there is no bad editing, and Carlos going on and on. He was heated. He was heated. Then he wants to tell Marquez, try to like steer the conversation, talking about, well, what we brought you on to talk about. It doesn't matter. You brought me on to talk about this, and I'm going to talk, and I'm going to explain myself, because and Marquez did face up and say that the producers, they ran with what he stated. He did say that, but at the same time, he was trying to give some clarity. And Carlos, because for one, he's going to be messy every chance he get, he don't want it cleared up. He want people to see Marquez, Trisha's husband, in a bad light, because he loves the fact that there's another love triangle going on his show. He got the Destiny and Sunny and Moses triangle. Now he have one with Trisha, Marquise, and Ken. So he have two love triangles going on at the same time on his show, and he loves the drama. But the fact that he doesn't want to be called out, I believe that him and Dr. Heavenly got into it after that show, because as much junk as Dr. Heavenly talked day in, day out about everybody, give her 2 cents on everything, just like Carlos, all of a sudden she quit. She don't want to do the reality TV sector no more. And she most definitely don't want to do Love and Mirror Huntsville. Now she finally realized that she doesn't have all the pieces, and there's so much going on. She knew she didn't have all the pieces when she first started reviewing the show, because the show been on for 6 seasons. So of course she doesn't have all the pieces. Of course there's more to the story. But she wanted to jump in and help Carlos. And because Dr. Heavenly have the gift to gab, and she talk loud and wrong with no excuses, no apologies. And Carlos, he finds it oh so hilarious, so funny that she can be messy, talking about stuff that she has no background on, that she don't know the first thing about. He loved that. And he definitely loved the fact that, well, he did love the fact that she did not know the ins and outs of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So basically, she was going by whatever he was telling her, or just whatever she picked up on from YouTube, or what from the social media sector, and from what's being filmed this season, because she did not know. Carlos fed her his version of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I believe that's what Dr. Heavenly was reporting on. That's why she was going to bat for Martell and stuff like that, but still trying to claim, oh, I love Melody. You can't possibly love Melody if you sit up there trying to take up for Martell. That's why when she spoke out against Destiny, that's why Carlos got Dr. Heavenly to interview Destiny, so she can try to change Dr. Heavenly's mind about Destiny, so people would not, so it could change people's perspective of Destiny. Carlos not slick, but now that Dr. Heavenly has spoke out against his show on his platform to his face, now he can't take it. But people, Dr. Heavenly is not the first person that realized that it's bad editing. That's why the Scotts have never been exposed on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because regardless if the people say it or not, whether they find the lady that Marceau and Maurice supposedly sleeping with, even if it do get filmed, even if the lady name get called out, it's not going to air. Carlos is going to cut that scene. He may shelve it. And let them know. And that's why the Scotts are indebted to Carlos, because he's never going to out them. He's never going to allow Love and Marriage Huntsville to out them. So Dr. Heavenly, speaking on the editing, she knows all too well. She's on Married to Medicine. She knows about the editing. And Carlos knows that. That's why he got so irritated. That's why it bothered him so much, because he knows she know. He knew she knew what she was talking about. But I don't know why Carlos thought that this was going to be able to continue to go on for so long, because Dr. Heavenly is known for talking out the side of her neck, saying whatever she want to say, just like him. But the difference is, Dr. Heavenly, she don't know when to stop. And the things that Carlos has been feeding her to say, or feeding her to think, at the same time, Dr. Heavenly, she still calls out what she thinks she sees, or what she sees. And Carlos seen that. And that's why I believe that he thought that it was a good idea for them to do the Messy Mondays, since Dr. Heavenly can't speak on Married to Medicine anymore because he like her rudeness. He like her boldness, but he does not like it for his shows. That's why Carlos stayed away from reviewing his own show. That's exactly why he stayed away from his cast being interviewed. He still basically gatekeeps the Scotts and all of these, Destiny, Martell. He still gatekeeps them. They interview with people that are close to Carlos to make sure that he can control the narrative. He can control the questions and help them out with the responses. He's not going to let anybody interview them because of the questions that they may ask. And he knows that the Scotts won't be able to handle it. That's why when Maurice stepped out of line and talking about it was admirable for Kimmy to roll over and suffer and have relations with him, going through her illness, that's why Carlos hooked them up, Kimmy and Maurice up with Funky Dineva. Because he thought that Funky Dineva would be able to steer Maurice. And he tried to steer Maurice or try to coach him or get him to soften up or to lighten up what his feelings toward his wife. Even though Maurice just made matters worse each time he opened his mouth. But that just goes to show you Carlos he likes to control the narrative when it comes to his people speaking. And when I say his people, I'm talking about the Scotts, Martell, and possibly Stormy. Yeah, I believe he controls who they interview with to make sure that the questioning is not too far-fetched. But like I say, something had to happen behind the scenes. There's no doubt in my mind, because as much junk as Dr. Heavenly talk about these reality shows, about the people, and she just out of the blue, she tired of it? No, she's not. Her and Carlos didn't had this explosive blow up behind the scenes, and she probably was like, forget it, I'm done with it. And so people won't be suspect about her not reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. She's going to go with the narrative of, I'm done with all reality TV reviewing. Not saying that her other interest isn't true, but Dr. Heavenly is too messy to just up out of the blue say, oh, I'm done with it. And I know people, they can't say, they get tired of it, but most people you can tell be like, oh no, they tired of this, they don't want to do this anymore. No, Dr. Heavenly, and you can kind of sort of tell, but they just doing this just because. No, Dr. Heavenly, she did it with pure joy. She loved being messy just as much as Carlos. And now that he's getting a dose of his own medicine, he can't take it. But I'm glad she spoke out about the editing, because people have been calling Carlos out for years. And now that his friend is calling him out, That's what he get. He can't take it. He can dish it, but he cannot take it. And I hope Dr. Heavenly read him for fifth. I just wish I could have been a fly on the wall to hear that argument go down, because he probably, went whining, talking about, oh, now people are going to think that we're just editing, we're just editing everything wrong, which they are. They're messy with their editing, their producing and stuff like that. That's why he got the bull mess running on his show. And Dr. Heavenly was like, well, I just called it like I seen it. But like I say, Carlos, he can dish it, but he cannot take it. And I'm glad that he was called out by his friend to his face on his own podcast. That's just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know what you think.